Vinton is obviously a small town and a lot of patriotic people, and a lot of people that want to serve their community and their country, so it's just a natural fit for veterans to be here.
After the military, I kind of had a calling for law enforcement. I started my police career at a different agency. My mother worked here for a number of years. When she finally left the force, it opened an opportunity for me to come work here. This was my first choice.
Vinton is wonderful. What attracted me to Vinton, of course, it's small in size, and I wanted to be a part of a community, and what I mean by that is both local government and with residents. One, the community really identifies themselves as Vinton. They're very proud of that name, and they're very proud to tell people they're from Vinton. Efficient local government is huge as well. It's important to work for a government that has the overall mission for quality of life for its citizens. And Vinton certainly is one of those.
Vinton, it's been a little bit of a culture shock, but in a really good way. Working for a previous agency, which was 700 square miles coming to 3.5. It's been very different, but at the same time, it's been amazing. The community is very welcoming. The administration here is very welcoming. The town council, within 2 days of being hired, they were tracking me down to welcome me aboard.
The transition, it complements each other because you're going from a very structured military organization to something that is paramilitary. And of course, once you transition into law enforcement or a community service minded profession, you get some of the elements that you're accustomed to as a military service member, but you also sort of get your private life back. So you get the best of both worlds where you're not tied down to one particular lifestyle, you get a taste of both.
So it was kind of a smooth transition. A lot of the principles and structure we have in the military is similar to a police department. So it was an easy transition. You know, a lot of our core values and things they teach us there, I applied to law enforcement. So it was relatively smooth.
Going from the military and going into law enforcement was a fairly easy transition because a lot of the principles are the same, the mindset's very similar. A lot of the training is pretty much parallel with each other. While there are things that are different, it keeps you right on the same track. It keeps you moving forward, and it's definitely something that's going from one to the other. It's very easy to transition into.
When I was in the Army, it was a very formative time in my life, and I think it taught me a little bit. Actually, I think it taught me a lot about how to work as a team, and perhaps taught me some leadership skills that I use still today.
When you are in military service, especially if you get deployed overseas, there's a lot of common luxuries that you lose overseas because life is primitive and life is very simple. So what that brings you really is an outlook to appreciate things in life that you sort of take for granted, whether it's watching TV, drinking cold water, or sleeping in the bed. So a lot of things that you might deal with in the community that people lose, you sort of have been exposed to that in very small amount of doses, but at least it gives you a perspective.
So I think the thing that makes you proud working here is that you can help people through some of their roughest times, whether it's even just sitting down with them for a minute or guiding them through a process, even if it's somebody that you've detained or even charged with a crime, guiding them through the process and them understanding why they're going through this whole situation without them feeling like you're trying to do something to diminish them.
I'm absolutely proud to wear the uniform. I'm of course blessed for the position that they've given me within the police department. You know, my idea of a life well lived is how we can improve a community and improve the quality of life of the community that you serve. So I couldn't think of a better profession to do that in.
You know, one of our core values was service before self, and it's something I applied to my career. I put everyone else's needs before my own. It's kind of my flaw and one of my greatest strengths, I guess you could say. So I apply that to my job, and so far it's done me well. So.
Well, I think this is a great place for veterans to work. We certainly appreciate and respect their service to our country. And those types of folks that want to serve other people, want to serve their country and the community, fit in well on our staff. And we just enjoy employing veterans here in the town of Vinton.